media, or in entertainment.
Take away a lot of jobs.
Week in Review.
My guests are here in the studio, raring to go. And if you've tuned into Radio London, it's time to unpack the week that was, on quite an important day as well, it must be said. 21st of August being GCSE results day. Big thanks to my guests for coming in today. And it's a welcome return to Arj Thiruchelvam, founder of Performance Physique. You can get more details on performance_physique. And of course, you'll know he's also our resident expert when it comes to all things marathon and London Marathon related. Great to have you back, Arj. And also welcome to Gina Visram, who is a career coach. You can get more details on your career and future on social media. She's the founder of Your Career and Future. Gina, great to have you here. It's quite something and apt, actually, Gina, that you've come into the studio today, because it is GCSE results day. And all three of us were just talking off air about just how intense today is. By now, students will have kind of been opened their results, got their results, digesting their results. What do you have to say about a day like today?
Digesting their results is such a good way to put it, isn't it? And actually, Arj and I were talking about that as well before coming on air. What I would say is, congratulations to everybody, and you've done it, and you've gotten the results now, so well done. And I suppose at this stage, it's really the thoughts for anybody who needs to go in a different direction to what they anticipated or what they hoped, or even anybody who's changed their mind over the summer. So if you potentially haven't secured the grades that you need to, remember that schools and colleges and sixth forms, they are all around. They're kind of back after the summer at this stage. And so you can be contacting them today, contacting them tomorrow, and really looking at your options around what A-levels or BTECs or T-levels or apprenticeships you might want to be doing now. So some of you will be sorted and you'll know where you're off to next. But if you've received your results and it means that you need to pivot in some way, then make sure that you're having conversations. There are lots of potential options right now.
Do you remember, and thank you for that, Gina, do you remember what it was like, Arj, for you with GCSEs? Because I think that's what I said at the beginning of the show, is a lot of us, it takes you right back to that day when we had to open our results.
No matter how long it's been.
It's been a long time for me. But what was it like for you, Arj?
It wasn't very long for me.
Of course it wasn't.
Of course not.
It's something I'm actually really passionate about. I work with a lot of youth athletes, and this is a really, really big deal for them. From April onwards, you start seeing the behaviours of them in training.
Really?
It's really, really, really noticeable. And the pressures have increased. I've noticed that in the last about 3 or 4 years, the distraction at training, the concerned looks as they walk down to training. And I'm sure we all had it. The PE teacher kind of person was the one that you felt a little bit more like a person that you could speak to a little bit more openly.
Yeah.
And that's what happens at training. So days like today, I remember it very clearly. The few nerves, I've always been quite a relaxed individual, but I was saying earlier to Gina that for me, it's the most important thing is your day is not defined by just one individual day, or your life isn't defined by it. There's so many options afterwards. What I planned to do at 16 and what I ended up doing. So far apart.
Worlds apart.
And this is so much better.
And exactly. And I think that's what I was saying, Gina, because I thought it's easier said than done saying, well done, don't worry if it didn't pan out. But I thought it was important to kind of share some of our own experiences. Is as much as I did really well in school, I remember GCSEs, there was only one subject I was dreading, and that was maths. And I did really badly compared to what I was predicted. But then it was one of those situations where you just dust yourself off and you start again. And I resat it and I ended up getting the result I wanted, but I had to go the second time round. So that there are options there is what I'm trying to say, Gina.
And there will be many people in that situation, actually. And it's actually in the past, I want to say 5 years or so, it's become a must to resit your maths or your English if you don't get the 4, 4, 5 and above, which is, sort of an old school C.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I've seen already today, I've seen conversations on Facebook groups, for example, where people have gone, my 17-year-old daughter has just sat maths for the 3rd time and hasn't passed it. Does she need to do it again? What are the options? And so, if anybody's in that situation, I know it can be really disheartening. the idea at the moment, and this hasn't always been the case, and this wasn't the case in our time, the idea is that you do repeat it with the intention being for you to get that passing grade. But if you hit 18 and you haven't achieved the result, there is the option of doing a functional skills option or something like that at college. So it's sort of an equivalent. It's more everyday maths, really. It's more the kind of thing, arguably, that is really quite useful.
Yeah, that you're going to use.
So I'm going to get all the maths people really upset with me right now.
But it's true.
But it is.
Yeah.
But it is. It's the sort of stuff that you're more likely to use more on a day-to-day basis. And so, I'm hoping that once you get over the disappointment, because if you're feeling disappointed, nobody's trying to gaslight you into thinking don't feel that way. Feel your feelings. But know that it really is common to repeat and repeat until you get there. And if you don't get there for any reason, or if you keep missing it, I remember a student of mine did a few years ago. Hers were always the results I would look out for first, and my heart would sink if I'd see that she hadn't made it. But if you don't get it, then there are different options at different stages in your life to get the qualification level that you need.
And just bringing it in, Arj, and thank you for that, Gina, just bringing in that point that you mentioned for young athletes, because that also does seem to be a route for people to just kind of maybe offload some of that pressure.
Yeah, totally.
Do you find that when, students that you see kind of that's their one route? If they can't deal with the exams, they can at least have fun with the athletics?
100%. I witness that day in, day out. On that track or in the gym, they are trying to gather their escape. And the biggest concern I always, I get these feelings starting to emerge October, November, before the GCSEs or before. So we're talking 10, 11 months beforehand, where the parents start talking about, well, we're probably going to pull them out of all of their sports for about 6 months. Yeah, it happens a lot. And there's a lot of clinical evidence which shows if you maintain your sport and your training, your academic performance increases.
Okay.
Your ability to handle those maybe more stressful moments during exam periods, if you maintain your sporting participation, your competitiveness, really, your ability to handle that, your resilience increases as well. And this isn't just like, I've cherry-picked one study.
Yeah,
this is across the board. So I have a lot of those conversations with parents over, you want to support your child as best as possible, and I completely appreciate that. From 20 years of experience and as a lecturer, that is the worst thing you can do.
Okay.
We might need to change things. There might be an occasion where they can't attend a session because they're going to a revision group, or maybe they're doing an extra tutored session to hit that maths. But it's really important that we take a step back and we use perspective to try and support our children to go through that exam process.
It's so great to have both of you here with your expertise on a day like GCSE results day, I have to say, because I guarantee there'll be parents, guardians, grandparents, uncles and aunts who want to provide that support and don't necessarily know how to navigate it. Stay with me. I'm going to continue having a chat with both Arj and Gina. We'll delve into their stories of the week. But if you'd like more details for them, it's Your Career and Future on social media for Gina, and for Arj, it's performance_physique.